Have you ever killed somebody? Until yesterday, my go-to answer consisted of a casual shrug and a muttered, "Not yet," which always made everyone around me burst into laughter. Until yesterday, I was 100% confident that the answer was no. When I was a kid, I had recurring nightmares. Some were childish. The boogeyman was hiding in my closet waiting for the right opportunity. Others were more practical. My entire family dying in a car crash. The one that truly tormented my youth, though, was the puppeteer. I couldn't control my body. This wasn't one of those nightmares where you are in a perilous situation but you can't move. No, I was moving in these nightmares, but not on my own accord. I was a marionette being controlled by some sinister being. That wasn't the worst part, though. In my nightmares, the puppeteer forced me to do truly terrible things. I would wake up screaming that I had skinned the neighbour's cat and set it on fire, but would then realise that I was still in my bed. At first, my mum would rush into my room and scoop me up in her arms, comforting me as I sobbed into her chest. But as I got older, she took to wearing earplugs to bed instead. When the puppeteer's visits became less frequent, I took to asking my mum about some of the nightmares I had, but every time she would shift uncomfortably in her chair before changing the subject. Have you ever killed somebody? Sarah, my girlfriend, has these absolutely stunning blue eyes. When I first met her, I thought she wore coloured contacts, but soon I realised that her eyes were as bright as her personality. After our first date, all I could think about were her eyes, her beautiful, vibrant blue eyes, and how I wanted to gaze at them forever. We quickly fell in love, and just last month, we bought an apartment together. He visited me in my dreams last night, the puppeteer. I begged and begged for him to leave her alone, but to no avail. He swiftly and mercilessly put me to work. I could feel the sadistic pleasure radiating from his shadow as I finally vacuum sealed the rest of the meat and put it in the freezer. It would be put to good use soon. Blood. There was so much blood. It covered the walls and the ceiling. I groggily rubbed my eyes as I stumbled around the room looking for Sarah, looking for something. Dropping to my knees as my eyes scanned the apartment in front of me, I shakily dialed 911. When the police arrived, they swept the entire apartment for prints, but the only ones they found were Sarah's and mine. Despite all the blood in our apartment being hers, the police couldn't find her body. Have you ever killed somebody? Now I'm not so sure. The uncertainty in my gut feels worse than any sickness I've ever had. The question lingers in the back of my brain, tormenting my every waking moment. I can't sleep at night. My mind won't let me. It's almost as if I am being punished. He's waiting for me, toying with my sanity until I snap. I find myself thinking about our first date. It was 2 years ago today. The coincidence is almost enough to make me laugh. So much had changed in our relationship since then. But the one thing that has stayed the same was her eyes. God, I loved her eyes. Every time I close my eyes, hers are all I see. I miss her so much. I am devastated that she is gone, but she will always be with me in my heart. With every swallow, I feel her inside of me. Whenever I feel sad, I just gaze into her beautiful blue eyes and think about how lucky I am to have them. Have you ever killed somebody? I think the answer is yes.